Hello members, John Lieberger, Todd Bone, back with you for another edition of Turf Talk. Todd, this is exciting. We're going to talk today about the reopening of Renegade on November 22nd. A couple things the members should know when they come here. Carpool if you can. We do have limited parking here. We've tried to create as many spaces as possible, but please carpool where you can for your tee time. Driving range use, the range will be open. The wedge range will be open as well. We want members to see that and use it. Try to limit your practicing during the prime time when we don't have as many parking spots as possible. And then also golf course. We're going to start on number 10, just like we did before. Let's tell members a little bit about what they would expect when they come out here today. For our members that haven't been here this summer to actually see this process happen and maybe not see some of our turf talks, let's tell them a little bit about, briefly on the changes and what they can expect.
Well, hello everyone. It's exciting, like John said, to be here with you. We're standing here on number 10 here at Renegade, as most of you probably figured out by now. My team and I are super excited to get people out here. We've had very good progress. A lot of things have gone as planned. We've had a few hiccups along the way, but it's been a very rewarding, a lot of work for our team, Steven and his guys down here at Renegade. So excited to get everybody out here. But
for the hiccups, though, just so our members know, it was stuff out of our control. Like we couldn't get concrete. There's a concrete shortage. Who knew that? And some other things. So, I think you guys did an amazing job with what you could control.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we just had a few supply issue things that set us back. I had a storm early on that set us back, but other than that, we were pretty good. We got super lucky in a lot of spots, so very thankful. But just want to give you an update, kind of what to expect out here. Majority of our golf holes are in really, really good shape, and you will find them to be very playable. Now, it's going to be a new golf course. Anytime you play a new golf course, you've got thin, inconsistent areas. This is a new golf course. It's going to be new for the rest of this year. It's not going to fully mature till at least late May into next year. So, but the foot traffic and the playability on it aren't going to hurt it. We're going to put carts on paths for a while, let the plants continue to mature. Holes number 1 and number 5 are a little behind. They were the last 2 holes that we seeded. And we unfortunately have received some early frost and a lot cooler weather if you've been here and you have noticed that. So we're going to ask the players to stay off of 1 and 5 right now for the foreseeable future. We'll monitor it. It shouldn't be too long, but we want to let the golf course or the turf on those holes mature and grow in a little bit better. So we're going to ask people to take par on that hole plus your handicap strokes. And John, you can probably talk about that, but to move on and through those holes, number 1 and number 5.
So just to touch before we go on to the next thing, on 1 and 5, just ride the path to the next tee. Now, members are going to say, I'm walking, so how do I do that? I'll work with our team to provide some shuttle transportation, to get carts kind of back and forth so you don't have to walk that entire hole just to get to the next hole. And then just to touch base on what Todd said, from a handicap posting standpoint, we did have the AGA come out and re-rate the golf course. Hardly changed, just very minimal. And just take par plus any handicap strokes you would be allotted on that hole for handicap posting. So I just wanted to hit that before we move on to the next thing.
Sure. And also out on the golf holes, you'll notice when you do play that we have some sodded areas. We've had to put some sod in some areas that didn't quite grow in right with seed for whatever reason or not. So just be cognizant of that when you're playing. They're growing in nicely and quickly, but we're going to continue that process even when we open a little bit. My team's going to be out there doing some work and just continue to work on this project. But we're going to have the bunkers in play, in shape. We're going to have all the accessories out, and everything will be just the same. The only thing that's going to be different is playing a number 1 and number 5. And obviously, number 1, number 5, and number 9 white greens are not going to be able to be played as well because we totally redid those greens and we had to reseed them. And so we will be on those. We will be on the gold greens on those holes only until later this spring.
Okay, that's fair enough. Because it's got to grow in. Same with that putting green down by the Performance Center.
Yeah.
And that'll take probably till about the same time because that was seeded about the same time as well. What about short game area?
So our short game area is on hold right now as we're continuing to work on the clubhouse construction. there was a lot of moving pieces down there for us to go ahead and finish the short game. So we made the decision as a team to just hold on to the short game area a little bit, let the clubhouse construction get a little further along to eliminate noise, dirt, dust. There's some pipes and some things that they still got to put through that area, just so we're not having to do things 2 and 3 times. So we decided this time that we're just going to hold tight on that. We'll start working on that hopefully here in February, March timeframe, and we'll start building all that, putting it all, finishing it up and getting it put in, and then we'll see once we get that done when the opening date would be for that.
I would imagine, if you're right, you know, tell me if I'm wrong, but I would imagine it's about the same time the clubhouse opens.
It would probably be right around that point, just depending on, like I said,
How it grows in.
how we grow in and
Yep.
when.
And lastly, comfort stations. So we'll have the comfort station on number 5, which was operational. That'll continue on. And then the one on number 11, green 12T, we're just waiting for APS to power that up. Is that correct?
That's correct. Todd and his team, Todd Bruin and his team, are waiting on the APS people to get the power and everything to that. So that comfort station will remain closed right now. You'll have the restrooms at 10T when you start, and then you'll have it at 14T.
15.
15.
15,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
15T when you get there as well.
Yeah, Greg told me that him and his team are going to go ahead and put somebody out there at 15. So, you know, it's kind of nice starting on 10, which will be your first hole. Your first comfort station you'll hit will be at what you know as number 15, and then your second comfort station will be over at number 5. So to give a nice break in between there. So to wrap up, let's just go through some do's and don'ts. Do's, carpool, right? Do's, replace divots. Let me say that again. Replace divots. This is one of our cool season courses. Chiricahua, Apache, Renegade. Replace the divot if you can. And number 7, if you can't replace the divot because it blew apart or it went into a pond or something, you know, the divot flew off the par 3 tee into a water hazard, I would say sand it. You know, do the sand best you can. And, you know, we'll try to, Todd and his team obviously will be out here taking care of the golf course as well and filling those divots also, but anything the members can do to help take care of the golf course would be terrific. Do, carts on path. That's very important too. So let's not veer off the path. Let's not drive out into the new turf, new fairways. It's up to you all to protect the golf course so that when we can get a full healthy stand of turf grass and be 100%, and the cart damage and the traffic on the fairways won't hurt them, I think we'll be in good shape. Do any other do's and don'ts?
I would say just have fun.
Yeah. Okay, that's a do.
I'm excited to have fun and excited for everybody to see some of the minor tweaks that we made on some of these greens and the more playability once we're able to play to the white greens. Obviously, it's going to be a while, but I think everybody's going to find that to be very, very appealing and a lot better, friendlier golf course, I think, for everybody.
No, I would agree. So members, enjoy Renegade, enjoy the reopening. I'll remember, as Todd said in one of our other podcasts, it's going to be 70-75% when we open. So just set those expectations. Bear with us. It's still going to give us, you know, another golf course to be able to get out and play and spread some of the traffic out around the mountain as we're into, you know, kind of a busy season right now. So Todd, thank you, and Stephen and your entire team. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.